Well, I'm on the set today with Suzette, Donna, and Suzette, you have brought a very special guest. I'll let you do the honors. Tell a little bit about our guest.
Okay, I've brought with me today Beatrice Donna, and Beatrice is from Uganda. She'll tell you a little more about herself, but she's a farm manager, she's a journalist. She has worked with the Uganda Chamber of Commerce. She's interested in youth entrepreneurship, and she just has a lot of talents. I learn more about her talents every minute that I'm with her. But she's visiting us of the States for about 5 weeks total. And she spent the last 2 weeks in Oklahoma City, and she's spending this week with me in Stillwater.
Now, you ladies just came from the Perkins area. It's that time of the year, and you know it's fall, and it's pumpkin time. So, Beatrice, tell me what you thought about the pumpkin patch.
A lot of orange.
Okay. A lot of orange.
Our pumpkins are not orange. They're
Yes.
green.
Oh, yes.
And they're orange inside, so
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty. And of course, OSU is orange. I saw so much orange on Friday, so it's like everywhere I go there's orange.
So that's telling me that maybe you were around the OSU campus perhaps for homecoming.
Yes.
So what did you think of that?
I kind of felt the energy because I saw so many people and they all seemed very excited. And I also happened to attend the parade and I could see all these, different, I don't know how you call them, but they were basically different. I saw the mayor, I saw the fraternities, I don't know if you call them fraternities, the
floats?
The floats and the different designs. There was so much color and the horses and everything looked very, very nice. Yeah.
Well, you were probably to be at OSU at this time of the year. That has to be a one festive time if you've never seen that. A lot of times, Suzette, we kind of take those things for granted, I think, and then you get a pair of fresh eyes looking at it, and it's quite a festivity. Yes.
Yes.
So, Yolanda, tell me about where you're from. Tell me about the culture there. Suzette was mentioning your farmers' interest and what have you. Tell me about that.
Yes, I'm a farmer and I'm also a communication specialist and I practice journalism. And actually, this program I'm attending right now, which is supported by the U.S. Department of State at OSU is empowering us because I'm also an entrepreneur at the same time. So it's empowering me to be able to go back to my country and do things differently, better, because Oklahoma is such an agricultural state and I've visited farms and I'm like, I can't even imagine how I should start. Considering what I've seen, like people have 5,000 acres and everything is, machines, huge machines that I was just seeing before in magazines and actually seeing, then I'm like, gosh, this is so good. So most of the agriculture in my country, I'm going to focus on agriculture, is manual. Most of the agriculture. We're an agriculture economy and at least one of every 3 Ugandans is involved in agriculture. When you go to the rural setting, everyone grows food because most people don't have a source of income. So if you don't grow food, you probably starve. So all families, and it's a good thing because children know, at least 99% of the children know where the food comes from, which is very important. And every household grows their own food. Like you go and raise corn, you raise the beans and you feed your family. But most of it is done at a subsistence level. Like you only raise what you can eat. So the other focus of agriculture we want is one that is the commercialized agriculture, where you have more people engaging in agriculture at a commercial basis. And this is where most of the efforts also of government are going. But because we're a developing country, we still find many challenges because commercial agriculture requires quite a huge investment in terms of machinery and equipment. Yeah. In terms of exports or the kind of crops we grow, mainly we grow cotton, coffee, tea, and flowers for export. And at a subsistence level, we raise a lot of corn because it's one of our main staple food, and plantains, yes, and sweet potatoes and Irish potatoes, and also livestock. We have a number of farms engaged in poultry production, piggery, and cattle farming. Yes, in specific areas. There are areas that are more engaged in a certain type of farming than others. But agriculture is still a big deal in my country. And we have the land, we have the weather, the climate is very good. We've had many successful seasons. And when I say successful seasons, I mean like putting your seed in the soil and actually just growing without even putting any fertilizer. That's how good it gets. So if you have the means, you have the knowledge, and you want to do farming, you can actually be very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I heard you mention in the list of crops that plantains are something that are grown there, and I would kind of expect that. And I've got to tell you, I have plantain envy with you right now talking about that. That's some of my favorite thing. When I go to Florida to visit my daughter, she's always making up something with plantains. So tell me, what's your favorite recipe for using plantains? I'm gonna catch you off guard. But what's your favorite way to enjoy plantains, cooking wise?
Steaming it and just eating it. It's a different kind of way. I've eaten plantains in Europe, but it's completely different from the way we prepare plantains. And we don't wait for our plantains to get red already or soft. We actually prepare them when they're still green. And you steam them and smash them, and then you eat it with food. It's like mashed potatoes in a sense, correct?
Yes.
But we also make it very interesting because we use the banana leaves from the plantain trees to prepare our food.
Okay.
So it's a more traditional way of preparing food, but still the best because the plantains are able to retain the nutrients and that original, indigenous aroma of the plantain. Yes, that's very important to us. Yeah.
She's been missing her food.
Yes, I am.
I bet you are.
She's tired of pizza and sub sandwiches.
Me too, girl. I'm tired of it too. Let's have plantains. I would love to have some right now with you, and I'd love to have them prepared like you're talking about in the pill itself. I tell you what, I'm envious of that. I really am.
You should come to Uganda.
And
I should.
Bananas. See, I miss
and
the bananas.
We have very sweet bananas.
Yes.
Yes.
I bet that is right. Oh
yeah,
my.
so I'm really missing my food. Pizza,
Yeah.
I've had pizza to last me for 5 years. So
It doesn't take that much pizza to say that. Once you've been eating a lot of pizza, you're like, I'm good with that. I mean, our Red Dirt Media Group has to do football games on Friday nights for high school. So pizza's the staple thing the crew gets.
The kids will eat it.
Oh, the kids! That amazes me. But once you're out of the kid stage, you're like, really? I'm going to have to eat some pizza again. So I'm totally with you on that. Now, is there anything that you've had while you've been visiting in the States, though, that you have found shockingly exciting in the way of food?
not much.
You see, over in Uganda it's better food.
But you'll take some candy home, won't you?
I'm not a candy person, so I'm not an ice cream person, so I'm not someone who gets overly excited about things that I'm not very used to. So most of the things I'm like, I would go for rice because it's easy for me. So in terms of agriculture, yes, there are some things that have really excited me, and I just.
What are you finding here, journalism-wise, that you're going to take back to Uganda to show or read for people to read about?
There's so much information, but I have to be able to relate it in a way that people from my own country can understand. Because I don't want to give your story and then people cannot see how they can relate to it. But one thing I can probably point out very clearly is that in terms of farming, I've realized that particularly in this state, like where I've been, farming is a way of life. It's actually not just a way of life, but it's a cherished way of life.
Yes.
That's true.
And it's something that the farmers and the ranchers are very proud to be engaged in. And I've been also privileged to be part of a group of farmers and ranchers in different counties during my time with the Farm Bureau under the mentorship of Mr. Sam Knip, and he has taken me to places where I've been seeing how farmers and ranchers are very much involved in issues that affect them, how the community is involved in farming, and it's really all integrated, and also things like teaching, education, research and extension services, how they're all integrated, and it's a good thing, and probably that is something that I can take away with back to
Well,
my
I
country.
love that you're getting so much from your visit here, but plantains are really where it's at. All right, we have to wrap it up. We go to one of those sponsor deals. So it's been good to have you, Beatrice, here. Enjoy the rest of your trip in the States.
Thank you.